As a Vancouver Canucks fan, I'm thinking about that meme of that British dude who goes onto his knees and yells out at the top of his lungs, "No!" Whatever that is. Oh my goodness, no! No! Come on, man. This is what they needed to do to get the contracts done, eh? Just make a trade, send a pick or two over to these teams, get the rights, and then sign them on June 30th, the day before free agency. Not only do we have ourselves Jake Guentzel signing with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have agreed to terms, and the expected announcement will probably come tomorrow before the market opens. But we also have, via Kevin Weeks, Chris Tanev. Sounds like a new contract comes in around $5 million AAV. This is from what I'm told for the hometown guy. Ladies and gentlemen, as a Vancouver Canucks fan, I feel like this is the end. Anybody that was going out there and pushing, hoping for a Tanev reunion with Quinn Hughes, bring him back over to this Vancouver blue line, stabilize the right side, and have a shutdown presence to replace the minutes of Noah Juulsen, or to bring over Jake Guentzel to play with EP40, get a $9 million superstar who has been a consistent over-point-per-game stud the past few years. Have this superstar on the forward core, or have this superstar defenseman on the blue line. Vancouver Canucks fans, the ones who have been hoping for this to happen, we are done. That's it. Cue the disappointment, because the Maple Leafs and the Lightning are getting things going. Now let's actually read the tweets and analyze what's going on here. Saravelli started the entire thing off by saying that sources are saying the Lightning have agreed to terms on a contract with Guentzel after a productive Sunday. The details have been hard to come by as Tampa has other moving parts, and info might not come out until tomorrow. Now, other moving parts, what in the world is he referring to? Well, people are speculating, is there another contract being signed? There are reports about Victor Hedman and negotiations with him heating up. Steven Stamkos is still set to being a UFA at the time of recording this audio. Who knows if that $3 million offer that the Tampa Bay Lightning gave out to Stammer is still on the table, or if it increased a little bit, who really knows? And then Pierre LeBrun said all signs are pointing to Tampa getting the Guentzel contract signed tomorrow, and the Bolts were not going to trade for his rights without feeling good about their chances on getting him signed. Whether or not the contract is in the $8 million range or the $8.5 million range, at the end of the day, Tampa Bay is in a pretty good spot with their state tax situation. Jake Guentzel making $8 million a year in Carolina versus Jake Guentzel making $8 million a year in Tampa is actually making less money. Tampa Bay gives him more money take-home pay because of the state tax, and when you're dealing in millions and millions of dollars, that number piles up and it becomes a significant amount of money. So for Jake Guentzel to accept maybe a similarly dollared deal in Tampa versus what he was offered in Carolina, even if Carolina has that 8th year that they can attach to the deal, it's easy to understand why Jake Guentzel would end up going to Tampa Bay and signing here. Plus, you have the fact that Steven Stamkos is probably on his way out. That is a top spot in this lineup for Guentzel to fill in. Now, of course, he is not the right-handed one-time option bomb that Stammer is, but I'd say Guentzel is a little more cerebral. He skates around the ice a little bit better, he moves around more, and he's a lot more, let's just say, creative, I'd say, than Steven Stamkos. That's, of course, not to disrespect Stamkos, who had just another point-per-game year. He's been phenomenal his entire career. But Jake Guentzel, he's younger. They wanted to go out there and shell this out for him, and it makes sense if you take a look at the Lightning and their window. You can also debate whether or not the Lightning actually have a window in general, and if Guentzel is signing on to win a Stanley Cup with a team that is still in the running for that. I mean, they got eliminated in 5 games by the Florida Panthers, and Steven Stamkos, the guy that they're probably going to let go, was one of the only goal scorers in that series. So who really knows how well the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to fare over the next few years with Guentzel signing a 7-year deal. But going over onto the other contract here, Chris Tanev, if it's a $5 million AAV 7-year contract, for example, that is where things are going to get crazy. As we had talked about in yesterday's video, Chris Tanev is 34 years old. He'll be 35 by the end of the year. So if the Maple Leafs are signing him to a 7-year contract, for example, worth $5 million AAV, like people were speculating they would, Do you really want to sign Tanev till he's 41 years old? Like, 34 is already a lot now. Who knows how well he's going to play when he's 36 or 38. Back when Tanev initially went to the Calgary Flames and signed the contract that was 4 years long, a lot of people were saying, hey, how is that going to age? He was really good in Vancouver, yeah, but he's always getting hurt. He's getting injured. He's blocking shots. How well is he going to play at 31, 32, 33, 34 years old? Now, we know the answer to that. He played well. He's still blocking shots. He's still getting hurt. He's still doing amazing things on the blue line, but how far is that going to go? Is a 36-year-old Tanev still worth $5 million AAV? Is a 39-year-old Tanev still worth $5 million AAV? If the Maple Leafs are going to go that far on the term, then you have to start wondering, okay, what is the limit here? Is Brad Treliving trying to win the Cup today? Next year? In 2 years? Does it not matter how much Chris Tanev is making at 39 years old if you already have 2 Stanley Cup Finals appearances back-to-back in your belt? Like, there are a lot of hypotheticals that you could go through to rationalize a 7-year contract extension for Tanev, but without the certainty, it's a really big risk. And of course, if Tanev just signs a deal that's a lot shorter than 7 years long, let's say he signs a 3-year deal, for example, just to make things easy, then it's a lot easier for the Leafs to stomach the cap hit and the aging out process for Tanev into the next few years. But with everything we have been seeing with Tanev's value increasing in the 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs, the fact that he was an absolute monster for the first 2 rounds, shutting down Jack Eichel, shutting down Nate McDaddy, and the fact that he was able to do all of that with relative ease, it bolstered up his value so much that if Tanev was a UFA, just a regular guy on the market, he probably could get a little bit more than 5-point-something mil if he really wanted to. So for the Maple Leafs to trade for his rights and sign into a $5 million deal, there is kind of an incentive for him to go longer term to justify getting that higher price tag on the contract. So if you're a fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning or of the Toronto Maple Leafs, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about your teams signing. Firstly, Jake Guentzel. Looks like a 7-year deal. Looks like it's going to be a pretty big contract. If it's 8, if it's 9 million, it's fine for him. He's getting a lot of take-home money because of that little state tax. And if you're a Leafs fan, what are your thoughts about Chris Tanev getting a $5 million AAV contract extension? For me, as a Vancouver Canucks fan, the dream is crushed. No more Tan Man in Vancouver, no more Jake Guentzel reunion with Alvin and Rutherford, and no more Guentzel with Pettersson idea. I guess now, for Vancouver, you just got to go out there and hope they use those $12 million in remaining salary cap space to get like 2 guys or whatever on the free agent market that'll be pretty evenly priced and good middle to top 6 forward options. Tyler Toffoli and somebody else. Please get him back over here. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a Leafs fan, a Lightning fan, or heck, even a Canucks fan, what are your opinions on Jake Guentzel and Chris Tanev, both reportedly signing with their respective teams that had just traded for their rights? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.